Your feeder was full this morning. By noon, 6 chickadees had come and gone, darting in, vanishing into the hedge, back again. You know their rhythms. You know which one always lingers. What you don't know is how many of them will be dead before spring, and you won't find a single body. Every year, billions of birds die across North America, and almost none of them die where you can see them. What happens to those bodies is stranger than you'd expect. Your yard is part of a disappearing act that scientists are only just beginning to understand. In this video, you'll learn that your window, the one facing the garden, may already have killed birds you never found. That the raccoon on your fence line is one piece of a system older than our species. And that the crows in your neighborhood respond to death in a way that left researchers at the University of Washington genuinely stunned. Welcome to my channel, where the science hiding in your own yard turns out to be more remarkable than you'd ever expect. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe. We find the extraordinary in the ordinary every single week. Before this video ends, you'll find out that when crows gather in your yard and call out over something dead, the part of their brain that fires up is not the fear center. It's the region that handles complex thought, the part that weighs what a death actually means. Don't skip out early. You'll want to hear this one. 1. The numbers you were never told. Billions of birds live in the United States. Every single one of them will die. Which means, on average, nearly 14 million birds die in this country every single day. You could walk every yard on your street and never find one. Most people figure dead birds are just rare. They're not rare. They're hidden. And the reason for that starts with a behavior so deeply wired into every bird that visits your feeder that it kicks in before death even arrives. 2. The last thing a sick bird does. When a bird gets ill, when the cold settles in, or the infection takes hold, or the energy just runs out, it doesn't stay where you can see it. It disappears. Researchers who study backyard bird mortality have found this pattern over and over. Sick birds actively seek out places to hide. They drop into the thickest part of the hedge. They press into a hollow in the bark. They find the darkest corner of that brush pile at the back of your garden. It's not random. It's instinct, the same one that kept the ancestors of your chickadees alive long before our species existed. A motionless bird out in the open is a dead bird. So, even as they're dying, they hide. That pile of tangled branches you've been meaning to clear out, there might be a bird in there right now that you will never see. 3. What the ground does in 48 hours. A small bird, a sparrow, a finch, a chickadee, weighs less than an ounce. When it dies in the undergrowth, something starts happening almost immediately. Research tracking bird carcasses in outdoor conditions has shown how fast a small bird can vanish in a natural setting. Within 48 to 72 hours in warm weather, the soft tissue is basically gone. Beetles get there first. Specific species, the same ones that have been breaking down dead birds since long before humans showed up. Then ants. Then flies. The bacteria in the soil work from below. What's left after a few days is almost nothing. A few feathers. Maybe a hollow bone fragment, already going white. Your garden isn't just a place where birds eat. It's a place where they get taken apart. And something else is already watching to make sure nothing goes to waste. 4. The ones doing the work you don't see. The beetles and the ants are just the start. At night, bigger animals move in. Researchers at Radford University set out bird carcasses near residential buildings and watched what happened with motion cameras. Within 4 nights, scavengers had visited nearly 80% of the bodies. The top 3, in order, were domestic cats, striped skunks, and raccoons. All of them working in the dark, invisible to the households just meters away. That raccoon you spot at dusk, moving along the fence line, it's not just after your compost. It's part of a system that runs from the smallest beetle in the soil to the largest mammal in your neighborhood. A system that clears the dead so efficiently that by morning, there's nothing left to find. 5. The window you didn't know was a weapon. There's one place where the system breaks down, and it's almost certainly it's your house. Because this is the one death it never learned to handle. A bird that dies mid-flight, in open air, hitting something that just looks like more sky. There's no undergrowth to disappear into, no soil to return to, just a body on the ground, out in the open, where you might actually find it. Research funded by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and led by Scott Loss at Oklahoma State University found that somewhere between 300 million and nearly 1 billion birds are killed by building collisions in the United States every year. Most of them don't die at skyscrapers. They die at houses, regular homes with regular windows. The median is 2 birds per house per year. 2 birds per house every year. If your feeder is close to a window, the number might be higher. The bird sees reflected sky. It sees open space. It doesn't see the glass. The hit, when it happens, is quiet. The body lands in the flower bed, and before morning, before you even think to look, it's gone. The beetles, the skunks, the raccoons, the soil, they're all part of the same system. Ancient, efficient, invisible. Every creature in it runs on the same instruction written long before we got here. Find the dead, process it, move on. No pause, no recognition. The crows are the only ones who stop and ask why. Kaylee Swift and John Marsluff at the University of Washington used PET scans to look inside the brains of crows as they were shown a dead member of their own species. The crows gathered, they called out, they stopped feeding and stayed near the body for up to 30 minutes. The researchers expected to see fear. What they found was something else entirely. When a crow sees a dead crow, the region of the brain that lights up isn't the fear center. It's the area that maps onto the human prefrontal cortex, the part that handles decision-making, complex thought, and working out what a death actually means. The crows aren't panicking. They're thinking. They're asking, in whatever way a crow asks, what happened here, and what it means for everyone still alive. The next time you hear crows calling in your yard, loud and urgent and impossible to ignore, they may already know something you don't.